What's up YouTube, Capital G here. Got some Metaphys duels for you guys to check out. I think they're actually fairly interesting, and if you guys have been wondering why I've been avoiding Metaphys on this channel like the plague, it's because I don't find them to be particularly interesting, and it has nothing to do about whether the deck is actually good or not, which by the way it isn't. I don't think it's good at all, but it has nothing to do with whether the deck is good. It's just like I kind of want to profile stuff or have duels with decks that are at least interesting, and I find Metaphys to just kind of be boring, and I'm cool with boring decks like Invoked. Invoked is very boring, but at least it like gets the job done and you understand what it wants to do. I kind of feel like Metaphys are not as interested in dueling against your opponent as they are just playing their own little like game of Yu-Gi-Oh, where you kind of just banish your cards and then they just kind of sit there and then they like tag themselves back into the deck, and you like get to search more like bad monsters and you don't really do anything. But this guy has added in kind of some derp cards that let him actually do some pretty explosive things, which is definitely good. The deck is looking for some offense. It feels like a very normal summon deck, although I know they have a couple of special summons, but none of them are good. I'm not going to sugarcoat this and act like the Metaphys are somehow like super great now, because I still think that they're terrible. I just think that this build becomes a little more interesting, and you'll notice one of the cards, Infernal Tempest. This was a really big dirt card with Grinder Golem back in the day. In fact, it was the only time I ever saw Grinder Golem actually hit the board was in conjunction with this card, pre-links I'm obviously talking about. And then he's also added in Soul Absorption, which that card obviously works really well. Historically, whenever you're playing like banished decks, Necroface is usually somewhere involved, and maybe Eater of Millions. So he opens with Grinder Golem and he goes for the typical Akashic Magician play, but he is going to summon it back. And if you're wondering why he doesn't go for the Security Dragon play and whatnot, he actually wants his token to get attacked by Grinder Golem so that he can activate Infernal Tempest and he can basically start doing his derp shenanigans. So I believe ABC Buster Dragon player is not going to summon Buster Dragon turn 1. He's just going to attack into Link Karibo. This is another reason why I think ABC is just fucking terrible right now. It's just just not a good day. This is like the battle of like two terrible decks anyways. So he leaves the Grinder Golem token on the board. Grinder Golem token smashes in and he activates Infernal Tempest, and this is where the derp starts. So I believe he has already hit a Necroface, and just watch his life points, by the way. This guy's at 4,200. Now he's at 22,000. So he just got 18,000 life points, but he's not done yet. He is at 32,000 life points off of one attack that lost him 3,000 life points. Now this is the cool thing, because both players are close to decking out. The Metaphys monsters tag themselves back into the deck, which is like, again, I don't really think it's good, but at least it stops him from decking out. So there's that, and he has so many life points that like all the ABC Buster Dragons in the world aren't really going to stop his opponent, or aren't going to actually stop him at this point. Now I have no idea why he went for Castel and got rid of the field spell, because if you don't kill Soul Absorption, how exactly are you going to win? The dude is over, he was over 30,000 life points. He's still at 27,000 life points and counting. Like, and Castel has now locked up your extra monsters on. Another reason ABC is a terrible deck, but I digress. So now he's going to gain even more life points, and I think his opponent is going to scoop during the next turn. He finally takes down the Grinder Golem, this card right here. As a Metaphys, I think I pronounced that right. It actually takes your opponent's monsters down by 500 attack and defense. Takes all monsters down on the field that aren't Metaphys monsters down by that much. And his opponent, knowing he only had 5 cards left in his deck, he's like, I'm not going to be able to do, I can't do 30,000 damage within, you know, a few turns. So I think that is kind of a nice little interesting way. Like, it doesn't, it's really weird, right? It doesn't even really help you so much as it makes it for, it doesn't make it so that you win. It makes it so your opponent can't win. If that makes sense, honestly. Like this dirt play, I'm gonna show you guys another one too, involving Infernal Reckless. I believe this one's going, I'm not going to spoil it. It's going to be a little bit different. Excuse me, Infernal Tempest. I'm saying Infernal and I'm thinking Infernal Reckless Summon, Infernal Tempest. So you do need Grinder Golem for it to be effective, because, hold on, let me pause. I think you have to take, for you to activate Infernal Tempest, I'm going to say you have to take 3,000 battle damage. I feel like it could be 2,000, but I think it's 3,000. Let's see. Yeah, when you take, yeah, you have to take 3,000 battle damage. So the only way you can use it, basically, like the old days, was ramming a Grinder Golem token into Grinder Golem, which was, it's not hard at all, but yeah, that's like the only way to effectively use it. So he is going to go for Akashic. He rams that token. He activates Infernal Tempest, and I think that you're just kind of praying that you hit the Necrophase, but your Metaphys monsters will activate as well. So this isn't really a bad play. Your opponent does get to keep the Grinder Golem, but usually you can get so many cards out of their deck. Like you guys notice now, he's only at 4 cards in his deck, but his opponent has actually no deck. He left him with 1 card, and then he passed to him, which means his opponent has to kill him this turn. Now he's at 5,000 life points, and he does have that Grinder Golem, but I don't know, man. That's a hefty order, especially considering Metaphys Dimension is going to pop the Grinder Golem. If this card had not been a hard once per turn, the pop effect, like maybe Metaphys would be okay, because then they'd have like consistent removal. Because I kind of feel like if you like banish all those cards and then they go back into the deck, I feel like you should be getting more than just searches for more bad cards. Like if you could like blow up 3 cards on your opponent's side of the field a turn, okay, now we'd be looking like, it'd be like a range version of like Insectors or something like that. But just getting like more searches, like, searches is great, except when you're searching bad cards. But this was just a very interesting concept. I'm pretty sure people have tried this before. Maybe there's a reason people don't run it, but I will have this in the description of the video. This is the most interesting thing I could find with Metaphys, which I'm pretty sure, based on the way I've been talking about this deck in the video, some Metaphys fan is going to watch this and is going to be like, fuck you, Cap. You don't know anything about the archetype. You're totally wrong. I hate you because all you do is talk shit about it. If you can tell me why Metaphys are awesome and interesting, just please leave it in the comment section below. Everybody else, thank you for watching. Subscribe if you have not already, and turn on those notifications for daily videos.